Hi everyone, welcome back. My name's Sarah, I'm a junior doctor working near London, and in this video I want to take you through a typical meal prep that I do before I go into hospital. I've got a few set of night shifts coming up and it makes it all the more important for me to have my food ready with me so that I'm fueled for the night, ready to run around the hospital if needed. So for today's plan, I'm just going to make some rice, some boiled eggs because I don't have any other sources of protein. I'm currently waiting for my shopping to arrive. But I still want to meal prep for the next few nights, so I'll just do what I have. I've got some beans that I want to cook, and then I'll just use up the rest of the fresh vegetables that I have. And it just goes to show that you can still make a healthy, balanced meal even if you don't have all the options available to you. Finally, in terms of snacks, I typically just go for fruit. I always make sure that I have some apples in my bag. So enough talking, let's get to it. Some of you may not know this, but the hospitals are usually filled with temptations like chocolate and snacks and sweets that the patients bring when they're leaving and they want to show how grateful they are for the care they've been given. So it makes it really difficult to stick to healthy options when you have all those things lying around, especially if you're tired after a long shift. So this is why it's really important for me to prep my food in advance and make sure I've got enough food and snacks so that I've got healthy options and I'm not tempted as much. So there are a few really important basics for me that I try to stick to. I try to make sure that my meal preps are quick. They're usually very simple meals, and I appreciate that some people might like to have more variety in their meals, but when I'm working, I'm usually quite happy to eat very similar meals and just repeat them, and I don't need to come up with new recipes and ideas all the time. I also buy things in bulk, and that makes the option of meal prepping a lot cheaper. Finally, I've had a lot of fails in the past when I brought in food and it ended up leaking into my bag, so I try not to bring runny food or things that have sauces or soups in it, just because I don't want to risk it. So typically for one meal, I want to make sure that I've got a source of protein, some carbs and some healthy fats, and as many fruits and vegetables as I can have. I'll try to vary the sources of protein by having chicken, eggs, tofu, lentils, just to try and keep the variety up. And for carbs, I tend to go with rice or potatoes, might have some pasta or quinoa. For vegetables, I used to buy lots of fresh vegetables, but it makes it difficult if you're trying to buy in bulk, and so recently I've been buying more frozen vegetables because they're usually frozen as soon as they're harvested, so they're kept very fresh, and I can buy lots of things like frozen spinach or carrots, things that I wouldn't typically buy fresh, that makes my meals a lot more nutritious. So my shopping finally arrived once I had finished cooking everything, so I thought I'd show you what I typically buy so that you can see the variety of proteins, fruits and vegetables that I usually get. This amount of groceries can be for 1 to 2 people and can last for up to 2 weeks. So I always buy some brown lentils. I really like having that for dinner, and I'll usually prepare that in bulk during the week. I'll typically buy different grains so that I can change it up during the week. I've been trying out different beans and these ones are actually really good. I love to buy frozen fruits that I'll then put in the microwave for a few seconds, and believe it or not, it's actually really good. This way I don't need to worry about it going off. I like to buy vegetables that are very versatile, like broad beans, mushrooms, green beans as well. For protein, I typically vary between chicken, so different cuts of meat. I will also have some prawns, sometimes for dinner. And as you saw, I'll always have a stock of eggs. I really like having some chopped coriander in the freezer because it's so handy in soups and salads. Obviously some onions, I got some radishes, some spring onions, some garlic, some salad cress just because I wanted a change, and some broccoli. For fruits, I always make sure I have enough bananas. I don't even know if tomatoes are a fruit anymore, and as you can see, I love having oranges. I always have a large stock of apples because those are my main snacks in the hospital as well as at home. Finally, I also bought some grapes just for snacking as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it gave you some ideas for meal prepping and showed you that it doesn't need to be complicated to be healthy. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any go-to meals that you meal prep. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!